USF1 fans, we rated the drivers. We're going to go over 11 through 20 now.
For the United States of Formula One, we got Nicky.
Cookie. Boogie's here.
Oh, we are rating our drivers from 20th place through 11th.
To clarify, we are going to do preseason rating. We're going to rate them 1 through 20.
This is where we think they're going to win.
This is all three of us. We're going to argue about it. We're going to say exactly why I'm right, because I always am. But we're going to start this.
Except I'm going to be right
probably.
Because I always am.
And he knows the most about it. We brought him from behind the camera.
We can agree
to disagree?
Nicky's going to be wrong.
Correct.
Yeah.
He'll be first,
we'll be right.
Second,
we'll see.
Third.
Last.
So let's get right into it. We're going to do 20 through 11 to start with here. Were there...
I thought, when I looked at this, I thought that we were all going to be on pretty much the same page, but we weren't on the
Some of us were on the same page.
I would say the top 5. Top
that
8
one is going to be close.
That's easy enough because you have your studs. I think when you get into those 11 through 20, I can see some confusions there. And
well, the first one I notice is, Cookie, your 20th place driver. Why would you put Lance Stroll down at 20?
Because Boogie hates him, and I love Boogie, and he's behind the camera, and he came and he joined us today, and he does suck. He wrecks all the time. He's terrible. He's a Waffle House douche. And out of respect for you, he is going to finish dead last.
I can't argue with, and that logic tracks all the way through. But unfortunately, I don't think he's going to finish dead last. There's too many rookies out there.
I know.
Where do you think is going to be dead last this year?
So I picked Jack Doohan.
What?
Wow.
He's a rookie. I think he's going to finish dead last, and I got my reasons. So
that is disrespectful to the Aussie.
I'm going to leave it at that.
So I think Kick Sauber is going to end up with the dead last place, but I couldn't do Nico dead last, so I'm going with their rookie driver is going to end up dead last.
As you should.
Bortolotto. I think that's a pretty solid choice because that's my.
It's a bad car and it's a rookie driver in a bad car.
Yeah,
he doesn't have a fighting chance.
They're a different team next year. I don't know if they care.
They're not a different team this year.
Next year
they're going to be a different team.
So I don't think they're pushing anything.
Yeah, this year they're going to be hot garbage.
I agree with that. Why would you invest money into a 1 year?
Yeah. So they're going to be hot garbage, and the only chance I
agree with you with Aston Martin on that same thing. I don't think that most of these teams are pushing for next year, and they're not going to be pushing money into these cars.
So it's coming down to the drivers.
Yeah.
And so you have rookies that are coming in. I think the rookies are all going to be towards the bottom because they're in cars that aren't necessarily going to be set up for them. They're not going to push that.
Is your theory that no team is going to put much money into this year?
No. I'm thinking the bottom teams are not going to, but I know Aston Martin's not going to.
We know for sure Haas or Kick Sauber's
not.
For sure Kick Sauber's not.
Yeah.
I don't think Haas has the money to invest.
Haas doesn't have the money. The top teams, your McLaren, your Ferrari, your Red Bull, that are all fighting for that championship, they're going to put the money in. Yeah. But I do understand the logic that if you have a new car coming out the following year, it's hard to put so much money into this year. Yeah. Will there be much carryover, though? Is there much carryover in the technology, the programming from this car to next car?
Not a whole lot, no. Because it's completely different wheelbase, so all your geometry is going to be different. Your arrow is going to be different. There's not a lot. The only bottom team that I think is going to invest some money into this year is going to be Williams, because I think that they need to have a strong showing since they ended up winning the Carlos lottery. So I think they're going to actually invest some money.
The Carlos Saints.
So we'll see.
The Saints. They signed signs.
So 19th, I put Kick Sauber, Bortoletto. I do have to ask why you put Behrman in 19th, Cookie.
Okay, first of all, 2 reasons. One, he's a rookie. But more importantly, Haas is going directly to hell.
Because they got rid of Nico?
There's no reasoning. You can come up with whatever you want.
That logic tracks.
So you got a rookie. He's a bear. He's not a racer. And
he's a bear man.
He's a bear man. Haas is going to finish last in the Constructors' Cup this year. So because of that, why would you not have Ocon and Behrman toward the bottom? If my logic is there, it's got to be there. Okay. I think, and Aston Martin is, I think that's a surprise, like you were saying, for Stroll to finish dead last. seeing as they're one of the top 5 teams typically.
Okay.
Not this year.
Not this year.
So 19th, Boogie, who do you got? Is that Isaac Hajar?
Yes, rookie.
Okay.
And baby bulls. So, I mean, once again, like we said, not going to be spending a lot of money on that car. I mean, Baby Bulls isn't going to spend the money, and it's a rookie, so he's going to be down there.
I'm making this face because I'm not trying to give a spoiler up for our top 10, but I have Hajar in a very different location than where Boogie does. As you can see,
I don't see him listed there, so I don't think he's in the top 11.
He's not in my 11 through 20, so he's in my top 10.
All right, so 18th. I don't even remember where I put him because it started. No. So 18th, I put Hajar because of the fact that he was a rookie. So Boogie, you put?
In 18th, I put, Duhan because, he's a rookie. All my rookies are at the bottom. I only had one rookie that wasn't at the bottom.
And that makes sense. I mean, I think judging the rookies, putting them where they belong, they got to earn their
Alpine was
stripes.
a middle of the road team last year. And so it's a middle of the road team with a rookie driver.
Well, I mean, I think
going to be at the bottom.
Other than some craziness, like we all have Bortoletto in the either 18, 19, or 20. You have Duhan 20, 18. I have him up at 15. Mm-hmm. Behrman is the only surprise with Nicky doesn't have him in the bottom. So everything's kind of, I think Stroll's the only surprise for me.
So I think we're all pretty level on
in 17th. In 17th, I put Tsunoda because I think, just throwing out there,
you just hate the baby bulls.
He is gone this year. I think he is no longer going to. I think that he's getting the boot this year.
So you have the baby bulls finishing last in the Constructors' Cup.
If you're putting them both,
you have to
there.
if they're at 17 and 18. Otherwise, your math is very.
Well, did Nicky's math not math? Yeah. I'm shocked.
Something might not have. You just never know. But Hulkenberg might.
I'm surprised. I'm surprised looking at this board. I'm surprised that you put Saints as low as you did. 13th. Mm-hmm. You put Saints at 13. Why would you put him so low? He's a great. He won 2 races last year. He's a good
win.
Yeah, with Ferrari.
With Ferrari.
Okay.
I put him at 11, and Boogie made me feel bad because Boogie has him in the top 10, obviously, because he's not here.
And because he's a great driver, and Williams said that. Who's Williams? Get all their stuff from Mercedes. They're basically baby Mercedes. They're making a turn this year, and they got 2 great drivers.
You know who's not making a turn this year? Who? Aston Martin or the Baby Bulls.
Okay, well, obviously not a fan of the Baby Bulls. So
I like the Baby Bulls.
So you don't like my Ocon in 11th?
No, I don't like Ocon in 11th.
You know what
I mean, I like Ocon, and I hope he does well, but I think 11th is really kind of stretching for a Haas team that's got no money.
I think you are forgetting how good Haas did the very last race of the year.
Yes, with Nico Hulkenberg, not with Ocon.
Where he, P4, except for they screwed him out of it.
Yeah.
It's that same car. I think that Haas is strong. I love Mile. I think principal.
The last race of the year, I think, is why we unanimously.
That's why he's behind the camera. Unanimously.
Altogether-ish, put Hulkenberg at 16 because he's going to take a crap car, and because he's such a good driver, he's going to elevate that driver.
We all put him there.
That is weird.
I think you're overinflating what Haas is going to do.
Boogie, please tell the audience why you would put a Red Bull driver. I know he's a rookie, but he's the unrookiest rookie of the rookies.
No.
He's got the most experience. Yeah, Liam Lawson. You would put him in 13th? Why?
Because he is the second best rookie, and he's going to be in Max Verstappen's car. And everybody talks about...
Who's the best rookie?
Kimi Antonelli.
Well, how do you know he hasn't raced? You just think he's going to be...
Do you not know what his last name is?
Antonelli?
He's an Antonelli. He's going to be good. I couldn't justify putting Antonelli in the top 10 because he's a rookie and because he's with Mercedes, and I want to see how that dynamic between him and George pans out. But as far as Lawson, he's in Max's car. Everybody talks about how hard Max's car is to drive because it's so twitchy because he likes it set up a very special way.
You're talking about Sergio Perez, and he's going.
Here's my problem. You have a Red Bull driver in Lawson finishing outside the top 10. What did Perez finish last year? What did he finish?
Finished outside the top
27?
No.
No, I have no idea. He did finish outside the top 10.
The second half of the season, he was terrible.
He was also crashing or getting DNFs or crashing or just not being present all season. So I don't...
Kind of like how Lawson's going to be.
So you're arguing his point a little bit.
I'm arguing that Lawson is going to replicate what Sergio did last year.
Lawson took a Baby Bulls car, okay, his very first race, beat Sergio Perez in a Red Bull car, and was more aggressive than Sergio Perez was all year.
Well, that's why he's going to be in 13th. But he's got to do it for an entire season.
He's going to do it for. He's got fire. I would put money on it that he is. Well, we'll see.
You and I both have him obviously in the top 10.
We got him in the top 10.
So the only surprise I think for Boogie is having him down in 13. Yeah. I think it's awesome. We both have, all three of us have Nico at the exact same spot. That's ironic. It's cute. It's sexy.
But this doesn't look right.
It doesn't look right.
It doesn't look right.
It's not right. Please switch over to the next slide because everybody just moved down a spot on mine because
why?
Jack Doohan
is getting cut.
4 races getting cut. Colin Pinto in 11th. He's going to be in Alpine, and that's why they're going to be. So
that's bold.
Boogie,
wait a minute,
Boogie. You think that Colin Pinto does not take Doohan's seat?
I kind of agree with you.
Okay, you agree with me?
I kind of agree with you, but I don't know if it's going to be. I can see after the 4th race, I could see them go ahead and pulling Doohan if he's not doing good.
You got Flavio. Flavio wants to win. He is kicked 4 races, 6 max. Doohan gone. If he doesn't get any points, which I predicted he's not going to because now he's not even on the board. He's 21st. Flavio puts Colin Pinto in. Colin Pinto comes. We saw what he did last year, and he beats all those people.
I don't hate it, but when we had talked about how we were going to structure this, we didn't actually talk about who we thought was going to get cut through the year.
No.
We agreed that we were going to rate the drivers who had seats, and then somebody decides to math his own
Colin
math.
Pinto does have a seat, by the way.
In his defense, a couple months ago, beginning of the offseason, that was your prediction, was that Doohan was going to be, I think you had it in Miami.
I think Miami.
Like race 6 or something, you said he'd be gone, that'd be Colapinto's first. Now, I think for you to have Doohan finishing 20th, now 21st, I get that, because you're saying he's getting booted. I think it's aggressive for you to say Colapinto's not only going to come in, but he's going to do so well in not even a full grid of races. He's only going to have maybe 19 races, and he's still going to finish 11th overall.
Yeah.
So he's going to do that well.
Oh, yeah, and that's why I have Alpine, or Alpine, like Boogie likes to say, finishing pretty high in the constructors. You'll have to see that on a later episode.
I mean, if that happens and he comes in race 5 or 6, finishes 11th, almost in the points in the top 10, he's not going to be with Alpine next year. Because someone's going to see how well he did, and he's going to get signed to one of the big boys.
Well, we got a lot of open seats next year.
There are. We'll get into that another show, but there are a lot of open seats in 26 for the new car and all the sexy and Cadillac-y.
Oh, I'm excited.
Any other things we want to go over here? I think looks like Boogie has Sainz in the top 10. I have him 11. You have him 14.
I think that's just respectful putting him down at 14. We'll see if we're wrong, but I think that's disrespectful.
I thought 11. I was debating on putting him at 10, 11. I thought it was a little rough. I don't know where you.
I'll be interested to see who beat him out in 10th place because I think he's definitely a top 10 driver. So I think even a little disrespectful put him down in 11th.
Okay.
But I'll see who you put in at top 10. I might agree with you.
This is why the season's fun because we can change all these picks, which we will.
And the best part is you get to go back at the end of the year, rewatch this episode, and see how wrong these guys are.
These guys. We both have both Williams teams in the bottom 10. He does not. He's got Sainz up there.
Calling it now. Calling my shot.
I know he's a smooth operator, but I just don't see it happening. Sorry, I don't see it happen this year.
I want to know what are our top 10. I'm interested to see our top 10.
Will you just
Spoiler alert, Hajar's in mine.
You have to join us, come back tomorrow to find out who the top 10 is.
Love ya.
Follow us on YouTube at the United States of F1, Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok at United States F1. Copyright Brugman Media Limited 2025.